You've probably seen a Washington quarter 100 times, maybe even today. It's one of the most common coins in the United States, easy to spend, easy to ignore. But here's something most people never realize. A few of these ordinary-looking quarters have quietly become some of the most valuable coins collectors are chasing right now. In this video, we're taking a closer look at some of the most interesting Washington quarters that have surprised collectors with their value and history. Before you spend your next quarter, you'll want to watch this, because the fortune you've been searching for might already be in your pocket. First up, let's take a close look at a coin that many people have seen but rarely stop to study, the 1977 Washington quarter dollar without a mint mark, found today in circulated condition. At first glance, this coin may look simple and worn. The surface is not shiny, the details are not sharp, and there are marks all across it. It may seem like just another old quarter sitting in your pocket or coin jar. But when you slow down and really look at it, this coin begins to tell a story of history, everyday life, and the hidden possibilities that collectors love to search for. The Washington Quarter series started back in 1932 to honor George Washington, the first president of the United States. By 1977, this design had already been in use for many years, becoming one of the most recognized coins in the country. This specific coin was made at the Philadelphia Mint, which is why it does not have a mint mark. That missing mint mark is actually very important. It tells collectors where the coin was made, and it helps separate it from coins produced in other locations like Denver or San Francisco. Now let's talk about the design. On the front of the coin, you will see the portrait of George Washington facing left. Around him are the words Liberty at the top and In God We Trust near the lower left side, along with the date 1977. Because this coin has been used in circulation, the details are worn down. Washington's hair, cheek, and jawline appear smooth and flattened. This is normal, as the highest points of the design were down first over time. On the back of the coin you will find the classic eagle design. The eagle is shown with its wings spread wide, holding arrows and olive branches. These symbols represent strength and peace. Around the eagle are the words United States of America and quarter dollar. Even though the coin is worn, the main design is still easy to recognize, though the finer details like the feathers are not as clear as they once were. Now let's focus on the condition, because this is where the coin's story really comes to life. This coin is clearly circulated, meaning it has been used for many years in everyday transactions. It has passed through many hands, been carried in pockets, and mixed with other coins. Because of this, it shows clear signs of wear and use. The worn details are easy to see. The high points of the design, especially Washington's hair and facial features, are flattened. This happens naturally as the coin is handled again and again. The more a coin is used, the more these details fade. The surface also shows scratches and nicks. These marks come from contact with other coins and objects. Some are small and light, while others are deeper and more noticeable. This is completely normal for a coin that has been in circulation for a long time. You may also notice dirt or toning on the coin. Some areas, especially around the edges and inside the letters, appear darker. This happens because dirt and oils collect in these small spaces over time. The metal also reacts with the environment, causing changes in color. This natural toning is often preferred over cleaning, because cleaning can damage the coin's surface. Even though this coin is worn, it still has value to collectors. That's because condition is only one part of what makes a coin interesting. The real excitement often comes from looking for rare errors or unusual features that may still be present. For example, some 1977 quarters may have small minting errors. These can include doubled letters, where parts of the text look slightly repeated, or off-center strikes, where the design is not perfectly aligned. There can also be die cracks, which appear as raised lines on the coin. These errors are not always easy to see, but they can make a big difference in value. Collectors also look at the overall appearance of the coin. Even in circulated condition, a coin that looks balanced, with even wear and natural toning, can be more appealing than one with heavy damage. It's not just about how worn the coin is, but how it looks as a whole. Now here is something that surprises many people. Even a coin that looks worn and common can sometimes be worth a large amount if it has the right features. While most 1977 quarters without a mint mark are only worth their face value, rare examples with strong mint errors or unique characteristics have been known to reach values between $78,000 and $97,000. These cases are rare, but they show how important it is to check every detail. This is why collectors never ignore even the most ordinary-looking coins. They understand that value is not always easy to see. Sometimes, it is hidden in small details that most people would miss. If you ever find a coin like this, take a moment to look at it carefully. Check the date, look for the mint mark, and study the design. See if anything looks different or unusual. You don't need special tools to start, just a careful eye and a bit of patience. If something stands out, you can take the next step by showing the coin to a professional. Coin dealers or grading services can help confirm if your coin has any special features. If it does, you can then decide whether to keep it or sell it. Selling a coin like this can be done through online platforms, coin shops, or auctions. The key is to clearly show the coin's condition and explain what makes it unique. Collectors are always searching for rare finds, and the right coin can attract strong interest. In the end, the 1977 Washington quarter without a mint mark is more than just a worn piece of metal. It is a small piece of history that has traveled through time, carrying marks of its journey along the way. It reminds us that even the most common coins can hold stories, and sometimes hidden value. So the next time you come across a coin like this, don't ignore it. Take a closer look, because you never know what small detail might turn an everyday coin into something truly special. Next up, we take a fresh look at a coin that many people have seen but almost no one stops to study closely, the 1980 Washington quarter dollar with the D mint mark, found today in circulated condition. At first glance, it may look like nothing more than an old worn coin. The shine is mostly gone, the surface shows scratches and marks, and the details are not as sharp as they once were. It feels like a coin that has lived a long, busy life passing from one person to another. But hidden behind that ordinary look is a story of history, design, and the small chance of something much more valuable. This coin was made in 1980 at the Denver Mint, which is why you will see the small letter D on the coin. The mint mark is very important because it tells collectors where the coin was produced. In the United States, different mints can produce the same coin design, but sometimes small differences in production, quality, or errors can make one version more interesting than another. The Denver Mint has a long history of producing strong, well-struck coins, and many collectors pay close attention to coins with the D mint mark because of that reputation. The Washington quarter itself has a long and meaningful history. It was first introduced in 1932 to honor George Washington, the first president of the United States. By 1980, this design had already been in use for many decades. That means this coin is part of a long-running series that collectors around the world still follow today. Even though it was made in modern times compared to older coins, it still carries a strong connection to American history. Now let's take a closer look at the condition of this coin. Being in circulated condition means it has been used as money for a long time. The high points of the design, such as Washington's hair and cheekbone, show clear flattening and loss of detail. This is one of the first things collectors notice when judging a coin's condition. The more worn these areas are, the lower the grade of the coin. The surface of the coin also shows visible scratches, nicks, and scuff marks. These come from contact with other coins and objects over time. Every small mark tells a part of the coin's journey, from pockets to cash registers to banks. While these marks may seem like damage, they are actually very common for circulated coins and help confirm that the coin has not been artificially altered. You may also notice areas of discoloration or toning on the coin. This is completely normal. Over time, the metal reacts with air, moisture, and other elements, causing changes in color. Some areas may look darker, while others may have a slightly different shade. This natural toning is often preferred by collectors because it shows the coin has aged naturally and has not been cleaned or polished. Even though millions of 1980D quarters were made, not all of them are the same. Most are common, but some can stand out because of small differences or rare mistakes. This is where collector interest becomes very exciting. During the minting process, errors can happen. These errors are not planned and they make certain coins much more valuable. Some possible errors include off-center strikes, where the design is not perfectly aligned on the coin. There are also die cracks, which appear as raised lines on the surface. Another type of error is doubling, where parts of the design appear slightly doubled due to a mistake during the stamping process. These errors can sometimes be hard to see, but collectors carefully examine coins using magnification to find them. Another thing collectors look for is the overall quality of the strike. Even in circulated condition, some coins were originally struck with stronger detail than others. These coins may still show clearer features compared to typical worn examples. That small difference can make a coin more desirable. What makes this even more interesting is that many valuable coins have been found in everyday change. People often overlook coins because they look ordinary. But collectors know that rare finds can come from the most unexpected places. A coin that has been sitting in a drawer or jar for years could turn out to be something special. Now here is where things become truly exciting. While a normal 1980D Washington quarter in circulated condition is usually worth only its face value, Rare examples with strong errors or unique features have reached impressive prices in the collector market. In some cases, these coins have sold in the range of $75,000 to $98,000, especially when they show clear minting mistakes combined with good remaining detail. These high values are rare, but they show the hidden potential that even modern coins can have. Collectors are drawn to coins like this not just because of money, but because of the story behind them. This coin has been part of everyday life. It may have been used to buy food, pay for services, or pass through countless hands over the years. It represents a time before digital payments became common, when coins and cash were the main way people handled money. If you ever come across a 1980 Washington quarter with a D Mint mark, don't just spend it without looking. Take a moment to examine it. Look at the details, check the surface, and see if anything stands out. Even if it looks worn and simple, it could still have something interesting about it. This coin is a reminder that value is not always easy to see. Sometimes, the most ordinary-looking coins carry the most interesting stories. And in rare cases, they can turn into treasures that surprise everyone. So the next time you find a quarter like this, take a closer look because you might be holding more than just 25 cents in your hand. Next up, we take a closer look at a coin that many people have handled without even thinking twice, yet it carries a quiet story of time, use, and hidden potential, the 1987 Washington quarter with the D Mint mark, found today in circulated condition. At first glance, this coin may not stand out at all. It looks used, a bit worn, maybe even a little dirty, just like countless other quarters that have passed through hands, pockets, and cash registers over the years. But if you slow down and really look at it, this small coin begins to tell a much bigger story. The year 1987 was part of a steady period in U.S. coin production. By this time, the Washington quarter had already been around for decades, first introduced back in 1932 to honor George Washington's 200th birthday. Over the years, the design stayed mostly the same, becoming one of the most recognizable coins in everyday life. By 1987, these quarters were being made in large numbers, especially at the Denver Mint, which is marked by the small letter D on the coin. That tiny letter might seem unimportant, but for collectors, it plays a big role in understanding where the coin came from and how it fits into a collection. When you look at the front of the coin, you will see the familiar portrait of George Washington facing left. Even in circulated condition, his image still carries a sense of strength and history. However, because this coin has been used for a long time, you can clearly see signs of wear. The high points of the design, especially Washington's hair and cheekbone, appear flattened. This is one of the first signs collectors look for when judging how much a coin has been used. The more worn these areas are, the more time the coin has spent in circulation. The words Liberty at the top and In God We Trust to the side are still visible, but they may not be as sharp as they once were. The date 1987 is still clear, which is important because even heavily used coins can hold value if key details remain readable. Just below the date, you will find the D Mint mark. This small letter tells us that the coin was struck at the Denver Mint, one of the main coin-producing facilities in the United States. For collectors, mint marks matter because some mints produce fewer coins than others, and certain mint mark combinations can become more desirable over time. Now let's turn the coin over and look at the reverse side. Here you will find the classic eagle design with its wings spread wide. The eagle holds arrows and an olive branch, symbolizing both strength and peace. In circulated condition, the feathers on the eagle may look worn, and the fine lines may not be as clear as they were when the coin was new. Still, the overall design remains strong enough to recognize. The words United States of America and quarter dollars circle the design, along with E pluribus unum above the eagle. One of the most interesting parts of this coin is its condition. This 1987 D quarter shows clear signs of circulation, which means it has been used in everyday transactions for many years. There are visible scratches, small nicks, and surface marks across the coin. These marks come from contact with other coins, surfaces, and constant handling. The surface also shows dirt and grime, especially in the deeper parts of the design where it is harder to clean naturally. In some areas, you may notice darker toning or spots, particularly around the lower and right side of the front. This kind of discoloration is common and happens when the metal reacts with the environment over time. Even though this may sound like damage, it actually tells the story of the coin's journey. Every mark and every bit of wear shows that this coin has been part of real life, moving from person to person, from place to place. For many collectors, that history adds a certain kind of charm, even if it lowers the technical grade of the coin. Now you might be wondering, can a coin like this really be valuable? The answer depends on a few important factors. Most 1987 D quarters in circulated condition are only worth their face value. However, there are always exceptions, and that is where things get exciting. Coins from this year can sometimes have errors or special features that make them much more valuable. For example, some coins may have doubled die errors, where parts of the design appear doubled. This can affect the letters, numbers, or even parts of Washington's portrait. Other coins may be struck off-center, meaning the design is not properly aligned. There are also cases where coins are struck on the wrong type of metal, which creates a completely different look and weight. These kinds of errors are rare, but when they do appear, they can turn an ordinary coin into a collector's dream. Another important factor is condition at the higher end. While this particular coin is circulated, if someone finds a 1987 D quarter in near-perfect condition, with sharp details and no wear, the value can increase quickly. Coins that have been carefully stored and protected over time are much harder to find, especially from years when most coins were heavily used. Collectors are always searching for coins that stand out from the rest. Even a small difference like stronger detail, cleaner surfaces, or a unique error can make a big impact. That is why people often check their change carefully, looking for anything unusual. The mint mark also plays a role in collecting. The D mint mark shows that this coin came from Denver, and some collectors like to build complete sets that include coins from all mint locations. Having coins with different mint marks helps tell the full story of how and where U.S. coins were made. Even though Denver produced many coins in 1987, certain varieties or conditions from this mint can still be desirable. Now let's talk about something that really gets attention: the potential value. While most coins like this are common, rare examples with special features or exceptional quality have been known to reach prices around $78,500 to $96,200 in the collector market. These are not typical coins, of course. They are the ones with something extra, something rare, something that sets them apart. But knowing that such value exists is what makes coin collecting so exciting. If you ever come across a coin like this, it is important to handle it carefully. Avoid cleaning it, because cleaning can actually reduce its value. Keep it in a safe place like a coin holder or small protective case. If you believe the coin might be special, you can have it checked by a professional grading service or an experienced coin dealer. Selling a coin like this also requires some care. The best way is to start by learning about your coin and comparing it with others. You can look at online auctions, visit coin shops, or attend coin shows. Trusted dealers and collectors can help you understand what your coin might be worth. If the coin turns out to be rare or valuable, you may consider selling it through an auction, where multiple buyers can compete, often driving the price higher. At the end of the day, this 1987 D Washington quarter is more than just a piece of metal. It is a small part of history that has traveled through time, carrying stories of everyday life. It reminds us that even the most common-looking objects can have hidden depth and meaning. And sometimes, with a little attention and curiosity, an ordinary coin can become something truly special. Next up, we take a closer look at a coin that may seem simple at first but holds an interesting place in U.S. coin history: the 1968 Washington quarter dollar without a mint mark, found today in heavily circulated condition with some oxidation coloration. At first glance, this coin might not catch your attention. It looks worn, the surface is dull, and the details are not very sharp. There may even be dark or uneven coloring across parts of the coin. But once you take a moment to really study it, this coin begins to reveal a deeper story about history, use, and hidden collector interest. The Washington quarter design has been around since 1932, created to honor George Washington, the first president of the United States. By 1968, this design had already been in use for many years and had become one of the most familiar coins in everyday life. The coin you are looking at comes from the Philadelphia Mint, which is why it does not have a mint mark. Starting in 1968, mint marks were moved to the front of the coin, but Philadelphia still often produced coins without a mint mark for circulation. That missing mark is actually important, because it tells collectors exactly where the coin was made. Now let's look at the design. On the front, you will see George Washington facing left. Around him are the words "Liberty" at the top and "In God We Trust" near the lower left side, along with the date 1968. Because this coin is heavily circulated, the details are worn down. Washington's hair, cheek, and jawline appear smooth and flattened. This happens naturally over time as the coin is used again and again. On the back of the coin you will find the well-known eagle design. The eagle is shown with its wings spread wide, holding arrows and olive branches, which stand for strength and peace. Around the eagle are the words United States of America and quarter dollar. Even in worn condition, the main shape of the eagle is still visible, though the fine feather details may be faded. Now let's talk about the condition, because this is where the coin's real character shows. This coin is heavily circulated, meaning it has been used for a long time in everyday transactions. It has passed through many hands, been carried in pockets, and mixed with other coins. Because of this, it shows strong signs of wear. The high points of the design are very smooth. Washington's portrait has lost much of its sharp detail, and the eagle on the back also shows flattening. This level of wear tells us the coin has had a long life in circulation. The surface of the coin also shows scratches, nicks, and small dents. These marks come from contact with other coins and objects over time. Some are light and thin, while others are deeper and more noticeable. This is completely normal for a coin in this condition. One of the most noticeable features of this coin is the oxidation coloration. You may see darker areas, spots, or uneven tones across the surface. This happens when the metal reacts with air, moisture, and the environment over many years. While it may not look perfect, this natural change is often preferred over cleaning, because cleaning can damage the coin and reduce its value. Even though this coin looks worn, it still has interest for collectors. That's because collectors are not only looking for perfect coins. They are also searching for rare errors and unique features that can appear on any coin, even heavily circulated ones. For example, some 1968 quarters may have doubled letters or numbers, where parts of the design appear slightly repeated. Others might show off-center strikes, where the design is not properly aligned. There can also be die cracks, which appear as raised lines on the coin's surface. These small details can turn an ordinary coin into something much more valuable. Collectors also pay attention to the overall appearance of the coin. Even with wear, a coin that has even toning and a balanced look can be more attractive than one with heavy damage or uneven discoloration. Eye appeal still matters even in lower grades. Now here is something that many people do not expect. Even a heavily circulated coin like this can sometimes be worth a large amount if it has the right features. While most 1968 quarters without a mint mark are only worth their face value, rare examples with strong mint errors or unusual characteristics have been known to reach values between $76,000 and $94,000. These cases are rare, but they show how important it is to check every coin carefully. This is why collectors take their time when looking at coins. They know that value is not always easy to see. Sometimes, it is hidden in small details that most people would miss. If you ever come across a coin like this, don't ignore it. Take a closer look. Check the date, notice the missing mint mark, and study the design. Look for anything unusual like doubling, misalignment, or strange markings. Even a worn coin can hold something special. If you think your coin might be unique, you can have it checked by a professional coin dealer or grading service. They can confirm if it has any rare features. If it does, you may have the chance to sell it through auctions, coin shops, or online platforms where collectors are always searching for rare finds. In the end, the 1968 Washington quarter without a mint mark is more than just a worn coin. It is a small piece of history that has traveled through time, carrying marks of its journey. It reminds us that even the most ordinary-looking coins can have stories to tell and sometimes, hidden value waiting to be discovered. So the next time you see a coin like this, don't pass it by too quickly. Take a moment, look closely, and remember that something small and worn could still be something truly special. Next up, we take a closer look at a classic American coin that many people have seen, but very few truly understand, the 1966 Washington quarter dollar without a mint mark, found today in circulated fine condition. At first glance, this coin may not seem very special. It looks like an ordinary quarter, slightly worn, a bit dull, and marked by years of everyday use. But when you slow down and really study it, you begin to realize that this small piece of metal carries a deep story from a unique time in American history. The year 1966 was not just any year for U.S. coins. It was right in the middle of a major coin shortage across the country. People were saving coins, silver prices were rising, and the U.S. Mint was under pressure to produce as many coins as possible. Because of this, something very unusual happened. From 1965 to 1967, the U.S. Mint removed mint marks from coins completely. That means this 1966 quarter, even though it has no mint mark, could have been made in Philadelphia, Denver, or even San Francisco. This makes these coins a little more mysterious and interesting because you cannot tell exactly where they came from just by looking at them. Now let's talk about the design because this is where the coin really starts to shine. On the front, you see the familiar portrait of George Washington facing left. His expression is calm and strong, a symbol of leadership and stability. Even in circulated fine condition, you can still see the main details of his hair and face, although they are softer than they were when the coin was new. The words "Liberty" and "In God We Trust" are still clearly visible, along with the date 1966. On the back of the coin, you will find the powerful image of the American eagle. The eagle is shown with its wings spread wide, holding arrows and an olive branch, representing both strength and peace. Even though this coin has been used for many years, the overall design is still easy to recognize. The lettering around the edge, including United States of America and quarter dollar, remains readable, which is a good sign for a circulated coin. Now let's talk about the condition because this is a big part of the story. This coin is described as being in circulated fine condition, which means it has seen a fair amount of use but still holds decent detail. The high points of the design, like Washington's hair and the eagle's feathers, show clear signs of wear. They are not sharp anymore, but they are not completely flat either. There are also small scratches, tiny nicks, and light marks across the surface, which is completely normal for a coin that has been in circulation for years. You may also notice some slight discoloration or toning on the surface. This happens naturally over time as the metal reacts with air, moisture, and handling. Unlike older silver quarters, the 1966 quarter is made from a copper-nickel clad composition, which means it does not contain silver. This change in metal happened in 1965, making coins like this part of a new era in U.S. coinage. Even though this coin may look common, collectors know that certain things can make it much more valuable. One of the biggest factors is errors. During the high-pressure production years of the mid-1960s, mistakes were more likely to happen. Some 1966 quarters were struck with doubled dies, where the letters or numbers appear slightly doubled. Others may have off-center strikes, clipped planchets, or unusual surface features. These small mistakes can turn an ordinary coin into something truly special. Another thing collectors look for is condition. While this coin is circulated, if someone finds a 1966 quarter in much better condition, like uncirculated or near perfect, the value can rise quickly. Coins with strong details, clean surfaces, and original luster are always in demand. Even slight improvements in condition can make a big difference in price. Now here is the part that really surprises people. While most 1966 quarters in circulated condition are only worth their face value, rare error coins or exceptionally well-preserved examples have been known to reach prices between $82,000 and $97,500 in the collector market. These are not ordinary coins, of course. They are the best of the best, with unique features or near-perfect quality. But the possibility is what makes searching through coins so exciting. Collectors love coins like the 1966 quarter because they represent a time of change and challenge in American history. The removal of mint marks, the shift in metal composition, and the massive production all come together to create a coin that is simple on the surface but complex underneath. It is a reminder that even in times of pressure, something meaningful can still be created. If you ever come across a 1966 Washington quarter, don't just spend it without a second thought. Take a moment to look at it closely. Check the details, study the surface, and see if anything looks unusual. You never know what you might find. A small difference, a tiny error, or a slightly better condition could turn that everyday coin into something much more valuable. At the end of the day, this coin teaches us an important lesson. Not everything valuable looks shiny or new. Sometimes, the real treasures are the ones that have been used, touched, and carried through time. This 1966 Washington quarter is one of those coins. It may look simple, but it holds history, mystery, and the exciting possibility of hidden value, waiting for someone with a sharp eye to discover it.